I think I'm going to frame this one. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll put a little little border around it and leave it unpainted so you can see my first decent spot weld. Hello and welcome to the 26th episode of the Chambler build series. In this episode, we'll get the floors cut, fitted, and welded in. Figured I'd go over one thing real quick because I might not have explained the tubes that I put in here quite accurately enough. After my friend Lorna and I squared the body back up in episode 10, the last couple episodes I did the tubing, which I cut those tubes and fit them into the rockers. I'll put some infographics up here or some art. Positioned them, welded them in. It gave me the whole body where it's nice and stiff. But I figured you might not have seen it or might not have made sense, so I wanted to show it, so that's why the stuff's right over here. So without further ado, let's get to it. The tubes are in. Let's see how well and if the plates fit. Go underneath and check it and see how everything lines up with the weld and if I have to adjust anything or clean anything. And I'm gonna go downstairs and see how it looks. I knew this was going to be fun. And you're going to replace another word with fun. So it starts with an F. Has some other letters that are the same, one or two letters that aren't. Everything's always got to be a pain in the... This is real exciting TV, I can tell. Sitting there. There's going to be some adjustments I'm going to have to do, which I was expecting. I'm going to go ahead and put the passenger side in first before I start messing with anything because I want to see what my baseline is for both sides. I'm likely jumping the gun. I'm likely jumping the gun, assuming that I'm going to have to probably pound this flat. I don't really want to grind on those welds if I don't have to. Well, that was more complicated than it should have been. Time to do some measuring and some inspection and some figuring, and then I'll figure out what the heck I'm doing. I'm going to gently grind the outer edges of the weld, anything that's sticking out past the main filler area on all three tubes on the driver's side, and see how that gets me. Just going to mark out the areas I need to put some more tension into, get them to fit right. I also want to clearance this area for the seatbelt bolts. I'll notch this out for the clearance I need, and then I will go ahead and use that flange tool again and get these certain areas that are kind of sticking out a little bit. And on to the passenger side. I centered up the mark with a 1-inch hole saw and used a spring punch to come down through into the center. Pull this off, pop the hole through, pilot drilled it, now I'm going to drill it out. So basically a little more than half of it's going to come out of here. Then I'll trim the edges as I need to. That'll give me clearance for the seatbelt bolt. This hole saw's seen better days. gonna have to go one size up. This is the only 1-inch hole saw I have, and it is pretty much done. I'm gonna have to get some new hole saws, I guess. Apparently today's just not my day for hole saws. The centering bit fell out of this thing. Let's try this again. Yeah, definitely need some new hole saws. I'll clean this up with a grinder and a file, double check the fit, or on this passenger side. This is basically the final fit up of the driver's side. I'm gonna go underneath, mark up where I'm gonna put the holes through for the plug welds through into the tubes. And it's on the passenger side, which I've now said 1,000 times. I marked either side of these 3 tubes, so I'll have a place to put those plug welds in. I'm going to go ahead and mark the front edge where it sticks out past the rockers. I'm going to cut it on that line, and I will likely fold this up and back to meet as best I can between the floor and the rocker. See how it goes. I'm not going to cut any of this off until I get everything else in, because I can always adjust this and dress this and cut it because I have space. I laid both floor panels out on a flat table that allowed me to trace the driver's side onto the passenger side, because I have to knock some of that upper part of the driver's side bend down. It's too tall. Upper lip is trimmed, seatbelt bolt hole is clearanced. I've marked out the bottom. I'm going to take them both out, do the plug weld holes in them, and get the welding. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, danger. Let's go ahead and cut the front angles. I've got the driver's side 90% formed. Now it's time to start doing the same stuff to the passenger side. I'm gonna do all the final fitting once they're in the car. Put it back in position. I'm gonna verify that everything still lines up with the marks I've made. I'm gonna transfer all the holes from the driver's side to line up with these upper parts. Go ahead and put the plug welds in, then I'll start working with the front edge where I bent up, or where I'm going to bend it up like I did with the driver's side. I'm gonna try to make this one a little tighter. Didn't know how it was going to bend on the driver's side. It bent well, but I'd like it to be tighter so I don't have to put a patch or anything in it. I bent this inner piece up on the driver's side. I'm going to do the same for the passenger side. Because so much of this stuff is junk, I need this to form better and closer to this edge. I want as much tire clearance as I can. I also want to make hopefully one panel instead of multiples. But I got that tetanus shot. I'm gonna putting a heavier bend in it once I get it out and compare it to the other side and see what else I might have to do to adjust this side. They're not gonna be exactly the same, but I want to be close. I'm gonna go ahead and form this piece up a little closer to this. Like I said, they're not gonna match perfectly, but closer is better. At least gives me a place to start. I don't have to try to finagle it in the car. I'll likely have to tweak this just because everything I have to tweak, but go ahead and transfer all the holes. At least I can get that stuff going. I know that'll be the same, even though this might have to be adjusted. I'm gonna leave the front edge off until I figure out how I'm gonna trim these 2 angles. I made this template to work. Air Force. I made this template to work within the confines of where the tubing is laid out. I'm going to want the holes a little farther back on the edge and closer to the back side. So that's, I'm going to mark them now. The only thing I forgot to account for was the location for the seatbelt bracket for the front of the seats on the outside area. I'll transfer that once I get this back in and know that everything else works. Pretty soon I'm not going to have the luxury of just reaching through the floor to grab parts. As strange as it is to say, I'm going to have to get an adjustment period for that because I'm used to just going, okay, what do I need? Both the driver and passenger replacement panels are fit. I'm going to pull them, clean them up, prep them, prime them, clean the areas up, and these should be going in first thing in the morning, I hope. That's the plan anyway. The tubes, the rockers, and the replacement panels are all weld through primered. Let it dry for a couple minutes and burn these suckers in. Well, here goes nothing. I'm going to start welding into the tubes at the center, get them all situated on the tubes themselves, and then start welding to the rockers. The sheet metal might be last. I'm going to have to leave some spaces open because of all this damaged area, so kind of take it as it comes. We'll see how this goes. My friend Ryan had turned the settings on the machine up. I had him a little too cold, at least for what he was doing, so I need to try to get it to go with this and see how it goes. He said this should give me a little better, hotter weld, quicker. I should be able to do a little better, but I'll have to improve my speed, I guess. Better by my standards, is not great. It looks better, but it's not where it needs to be yet. That's on me, that's not on the machine. That was better. Still crap, but better. Oh no, that's much better. This should make it easier for me. It's still going to be bad, but it's going to make it bad faster. Or max power, or whatever the heck the name of Homer was in The Simpsons when he did silly things. Max power. Oh my god. I just did a plug weld and it's actually not, doing all kinds of weird crap. That's what kind of voodoo is this? I think I'm going to frame this one. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll put a little border around it and leave it unpainted so you can see my first decent spot weld. The driver's side is all welded up. Now I'm going to get the passenger side. Everything is welded in on the driver and passenger side. I'm going to go ahead and grind everything up in the morning, figure out what else I need to clean up if I missed any spots, and keep moving forward. Thanks for watching the 26th episode of the Chambler Build Series. I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, share, and subscribe, I'd also appreciate that. Live stream coming up tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to go over movie stuff. I did make a car or two that ended up in a movie, so go over some of that and I'll show you my movie collection and definitely want to know about yours. So that'll be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Lots more stuff coming, lots of fun stuff, a whole lot of progress in the next couple episodes because I really got to go, which I've said before, but it's only about 113 days by the time you see this video till Sykeston, and that's not that far away, and I have an immense amount of work left to do on this thing. Just ordered a bunch of parts from Steinjager, and I ordered a bunch of stuff from Rock Auto, so that stuff will be coming in. Stuff to fix the front, stuff I need for maintenance and to repair stuff that he broke when he modified the car. And I have to order new springs and some other stuff for the back. Next stuff you're going to see is on the cowl area, and it is an absolute, complete and total mess. Episode 27 will be on the little plates that go behind these big plates in the flooring. Then it's right into the cowl area, and it is, like I said, a mess. We're going to tackle that, and then I go forward, and then start moving backwards. My buddies can come in and help me, which I said before. It's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of progress. See you next time. Thank you.